Said, ooh, girl, you shock me like electric eel, baby girl.
Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Baseball Edition, and my guest for this week's show is none other than senior right-handed starting pitcher on the baseball team, Jason Alexander. Jason, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, anytime. Now let's start by getting to know you a little bit better. You come from a baseball family. Your brother Stuart spent 6 seasons in the Miami Marlins organization, and your brother Scott is currently still in the Kansas City Royals organization. How much baseball talk is there regularly between the three of you?
It was a lot more. It's almost like different parts. When I was in high school, Scott was still in college, kind of making his path up to the majors, so I wasn't trying to bother him that much. So I talked to my brother Stuart a lot, and he would give me a lot of information. He would text me like some ridiculous situation and try to get like, test my mind on like how I would assess the situation, what would I be thinking to do. So he used to quiz me a lot when I was in high school, and then now that I'm in college and hopefully getting close to play some professional baseball if I get the chance. I've been really close in contact with Scott. He's been through it all. He's been at every angle of the game. So he's got a lot of knowledge to share for me. So it's been a lot, over the years. A lot of talk.
And how has that helped develop you as a pitcher?
Oh, I mean, I just don't think there's any better information you can get. I have 2 brothers that I've grown up with, and they've both been, playing professional baseball, so it's been, a huge advantage to have them in my back pocket.
Now I gotta ask, with the family having probably some, split decisions to make, are you guys Marlins fans, Royals fans, none of the above? What do you got?
I would say we were all born Giants fans for the most part, but now that Scott's been up there, we have more Royals gear than we've ever had Giants gear. Like every year he comes back and he just throws 10 shirts at me, a couple hats, and he's like, here, I'm gonna get more so you can have these. So I have so much Royals gear, like I'm trying to start giving it away at this point.
Hey, good couple years ago, I bet it was a little interesting for you guys, huh? Royals,
yeah.
Giants in the World Series?
Yeah, it was actually, it was pretty fun. My brother almost had a chance to play in that game.
Really?
So, yeah, he was kind of like an alternate, so he was right there on the border being called up, so it would have been great. We'd have free tickets.
Oh, that would have been sweet.
Yeah, it would have been awesome.
Now last year you came back from Tommy John surgery. It sidelined you for the early portion of the year. Then you came back and you threw about 57 innings last year. It didn't really seem like you had your best stuff until the end of the year. What was that recovery process like, and how did you feel yourself getting stronger as the season went on?
Yeah, it's a long process. You're able to throw after about 9 months of rehab, but they say the stats say that about 20 months out of surgery, you're about at your peak. So it's a long process of just constantly doing the little stuff, the little weight work, getting your shoulder strong to protect your elbow and all that kind of stuff. So at one point, it just seems like you have to, just forget about all the surgery, the pain, all that kind of stuff, and just, go out there and make sure you throw your hardest. And eventually, I got to a point where I wasn't worried about hurting my arm ever again. It was just more like, this is all I got.
Yeah.
I can't get hurt again, or if I did, baseball's done, so I might as well not worry about it.
Yeah.
So I just went out there and played as hard as I could. Didn't even think about it, and that's when I started, really shining.
Now, one of your secrets to success is the sinker. It's a pitch that I learned back in high school, and it really kind of helped elevate my game to the next level. A lot of people have trouble learning it, which is a little puzzling to me because I figured out the success behind it. How did you learn it, and what is your secret to success with the pitch?
Well, I think what really sparked my interest in the pitch was I had a rough year in high school where at the start I just was getting hit around a lot, and I went to my brothers to try to find an answer, and I'm just I was puzzled why it was happening, and they asked me like, do you throw a 4-seam or a sinker? And I said I throw a 4-seam. They're like, well, if the ball's straight all the time, kids are going to start hitting it. So I just realized, like, why would I ever want to throw a pitch that doesn't move? I think if a pitch moves, it'll always be a better pitch. So I completely stopped throwing a 4-seam fastball and switched to a 2-seam, and I just got so comfortable. All I did was throw it. I never threw the ball without throwing a 2-seam. So I just developed the sinker over time, and it's been my bread and butter ever since.
How many times have you heard throw it just like a 4-seam fastball?
I think that you hear that with every pitch. Every time you're trying to learn a new pitch, they just say like, throw it like a fastball, throw it like a fastball. But it's not the same pitch. It's more like the intensity. You want to have the same intensity, but you still got to throw it a little different.
Now this is the last Unrooted show before Mustache March begins. Should we expect to see something creative on your part? I see you got a little scruff going on right now.
I've already kind of started. I don't know if mine will be like yours. You already got a head start on me.
I pre-gamed for like 5 months. So
I got one more week. Yeah, I got one more week of this, and then hopefully when I shave it off, it'll be a pretty good mustache going on. But hopefully I'll survive the whole March with it. Who knows? I've never done it before.
Having any competitions with teammates on it?
I know for a fact that Nate Dodson's already got one going on. Emilio's got a great beard and a good mustache. I don't know if he's going to want to get rid of that beard, but he's got one going on. My roommate Kevin George, he's just got all kinds of facial hair going on. I don't know if he'll want to. I mean, he's got a mustache, but he's also got a huge beard. So I'm sure that there's some guys buying in this year. It'll be interesting to see.
All right, so we'll transition over to a little bit of team talk here. Now, the first home conference series was wiped out. It was supposed to be a 3-game set against the 8th-ranked team in the nation, Westmont, but that was wiped out due to weather. So now you got to play them 3 separate times on the road, though they'll still be counted as home games. The first one actually comes up this week. It'll be actually while this is being produced. So when you guys see this interview live, baseball will have already taken on Westmont. Hopefully it'll be a victory. How hard will that extra travel be in terms of preparation?
Maybe for past teams it might have been difficult, but I think this is the right team for this situation. You know, we haven't had a home field all year. We've been traveling everywhere to play our games, and you know, we've come out on top for almost every single game. So I think we're really prepared for, you know, anything that's thrown at us. So I wouldn't find this to be that difficult of you know, a change in schedule. I think we're ready for Westmont. I think we're very well prepared, and you know, we've got St. Katherine right behind them. You know, we're just going to drive right from Westmont to them, and I think we're going to, you know, come out with a lot of victories.
It's a single game against Westmont on Thursday, and then a 5-game series against St. Katherine in Poway, California, Friday through Sunday. So does having last weekend off help you guys a little bit for this weekend?
I think it definitely, you know, if some guys were banged up, I think it definitely gave them enough time to rest. I personally wish that, you know, we didn't have to have the week in between, because we've been coming off to a hot season, and I really liked, you know, when you're hot, you want to just keep playing and keep, you know, keep rolling off that you know, the energy you got going on. So I wish we had played last weekend, but you know, I'm not worried about this team.
Now, the pitching staff so far has been one of the keys to your guys' success. It's been fantastic, and it looks like you're the ace for this season. Is there any type of pressure that comes with having to be one of the big guys in the rotation?
Not so much. You know, we have a lot of good arms, so I'm not, if I have a bad start, I'm sure someone's going to come back, you know, back me up, and you know, we'll get through the game. But I'd say the only pressure, and I think maybe everyone on this team could relate to this, is just, you know, to continuously get better and just keep, every time you go out there, to be better than you were last time out there. I think that's the main pressure we have. You know, everyone on our team, we just want to be the best we can be. So that's what I'd have to say about that. And
of course, then on the other side, the offense is always a standout with this team. You guys just rake day in, day out. It came as a little bit of a surprise to me this year, because you lost so much talent through graduation and through the draft last year. What impresses you the most from a pitcher standpoint about the hitters?
Yeah, what I've noticed our hitters do really well is they don't let the score really dictate them. You know, even if we're up by a lot, they're still, you know, battling their at-bats. They're, you know, seeing pitches, crushing the ball. And even when we're down, you know, we're not, you know, we're never panicking. We're always in the game, just, you know, trying to get to the next pitch, trying to win, continuously win pitches, win innings, and hopefully win the game. So that's what I like about these you know, group of hitters we have. You know, they just battle. They just love to fight.
How has the coaching staff managed the craziness of this year, with not having a home field, with having to schedule all the travel that you guys are going through? How have they done a good job of managing that?
Yeah, it almost seems like our motto this year has been like, who cares? You know, like there's one thing our coach threw at us, is that anywhere we play, we got home field advantage. Yeah. So that's kind of like a joke we got going on with the guys. You know, anytime we go to a field, we got home field advantage. So we're not worried about anything.
All right, so you ready to transition into some brownie bites?
All right.
Last segment of the show, I'm going to ask you 3 random questions off the wall. Give me your best answers.
All right, I'll
Ready?
do my best.
Question number 1. Is there a school name worse than the Dirtbags? Now, you went to Long Beach State, and they are the Dirtbags. I have no idea where that came from, why that happened to be a name. Is there anything worse than that?
I don't think so. I mean, Yeah, I don't know. That might be the worst actual just name you can have for a team is Dirtbags. I mean, when I run into people and I have like my Dirtbag shirt on back when I used to, they're just kind of like, what are you wearing? Why do you have that on your shirt?
Did you lose a bet or something?
Yeah, that's what they probably think, huh? Yeah, so that would probably be the worst name.
Question number 2. What is the best prank you've pulled on your brothers or that they have pulled on you?
Oh, there was one prank we pulled on I think it was my brother Scott one day. He was probably around high school time, and he was hoping to get a chance to play in Australia for a team. Mm-hmm. So my brother and I, we went to the other room and we called the house pretending to be a coach from the Australian team, and he was downstairs with my dad, and he had a big smile on his face. He was loving the whole thing. I was gonna get a chance to play in Australia, and at the end we told him we'd really love to have him, but we just don't think we're gonna like you enough. We heard bad things about you. And then, kind of just disappointment ran right through his face, and he realized he was being pranked. So it was, I think that was probably the best prank we've ever pulled on him.
Did they ever get you back for it?
Oh yeah, plenty of times. I can't say it on camera, but he's got.
But just never to that level.
Yeah.
Never to that level. Question number 3. If you could trade places with any teammate for a day, who would it be and why?
If I was to trade places with somebody, it would be Zach Gerard. We had a group of guys, shooting hoops around the other day, and he was throwing down dunks like it was nothing. He was just flying through the air. So I think for one day, I would love to switch places with him and just start throwing down some dunks, just having some fun out there in the schoolyard.
Jason, appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. And fans, as a reminder, it's a busy week for Menlo baseball. By the time you see this video, Westmont will have already played Menlo College. It'll be down in Santa Barbara. That is a Thursday game. It starts at 2 o'clock, but that's irrelevant for you because it's already happened at this point. Then it's a 5-game series against St. Katherine. It starts on Friday at 5 o'clock down in Poway, and then double headers on Saturday and Sunday. Live stats will be provided on menloathletics.com. Stick around for next week's show when Jason Alexander will be choosing the next interviewee of Unrooted Baseball Edition, so you might want to find out who he decides to throw under the bus. I'm Brian Brownfield. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Said, ooh, girl, it shot me like electric eel.